Hello, we are now heading into the last grand slam of the season, which is the US Open. And I have Anita Karungi to break it down for us. Hello, Anita. Good to see you once again. With the US Open, they decided to change things up a little bit, especially with the mixed doubles, the discipline of the mixed doubles. So tell us, what did they change?
Changing it up a little bit is an understatement. They changed it a whole lot. They completely restructured mixed doubles. So typically, mixed doubles is played by a male and a female player, but they usually are double specialists. So a lot of the times, the people who participate in these tournaments play usually doubles on the circuit on the tour, and some are singles players, but mostly they're double specialists, and they're usually people we are not so familiar with. But this time around, the US Open decided, you know what, since mixed doubles is the least watched of the disciplines in tennis, let's like switch it up a bit. And by a bit, I mean like let's completely change the structure. They changed the amount of games they play in a set. And most importantly, they changed who actually plays mixed doubles. They wanted their single superstars to be in this tournament and to attract like a big crowd and big viewership and a lot of attention. And so they had singles players couple up or sorry, partner up with each other and play and participate for a mixed doubles championship, which a lot of people were not too happy about.
Yeah. There are some couples, you use the word couple up. There are some rumors of a couple in there. But anyway,
Well,
you, Anita Karungi, have not been a fan of mixed doubles. So has the US Open won you over?
well, that's a little harsh. It is true that mixed doubles is the discipline I've watched the least. And it's funny because thinking about mixed doubles, it should be really interesting to watch, right? You have men and women playing against
Yeah.
and with each other. So why isn't there more interest in this particular discipline? So I guess the US Open, I mean, it has caught my interest because this is the most I've ever paid attention to mixed doubles.
What exactly is the controversy and who is frustrated with all this?
Oh, the biggest losers in this situation are mixed doubles players who are have dedicated their careers to this particular skill and this particular discipline. They have been shut out completely, except for one doubles pair, Sarah Errani and Andrea Vavosori. They were given a wild card into this year's tournament because they were the winners of last year's tournament. But the
Yeah.
good news for them
Yeah.
is the people who eventually won with mixed doubles was the original mixed doubles pair of Sarah Irani and Andrea Vavusori. So I think
The wild
their
cards.
voices, yes, the wildcards, their voices have been heard, and something is probably going to change next year.
On the back of the Cincinnati Masters tournament, who's heading into this Grand Slam with momentum?
Well, you have to look at who was in the finals in the Cincinnati Masters. And usually it's a tournament that leads up to the US Open. That's a good indicator of who's going to have success. I think in the last 3 years,
Yes.
the men who won the Cincinnati Masters went on to win the US Open. Last year it was Yannick Sinner, and this year he was in the final against his now big rival Carlos Alcaraz. Unfortunately, that final did not live up to expectations because
Yeah.
Yannick Sinner had to retire due to illness, and
Retire.
he
Yeah.
couldn't play the match. I think there were 5 games in, and he called it quits. So Carlos
Yes.
Alcaraz ended up winning that title. So technically, he is the champion, but I wouldn't say he is the favorite to win the U.S. Open because even if Sinner was ill, that
Okay.
illness. I think it
Yeah.
can take a few days for him to recover. We are starting on Sunday. The main singles draw is starting on Sunday, and I think he should be well enough to play. And honestly, for me, he's the favorite. Being the defending champion, he is technically the best hardcourt player on tour right now. He has won all the last 3 majors on hardcourt. So I think no one can push him aside. He's world number one for a reason, you know. And so leading up to the US Open, the Cincinnati is really a good indicator, including for the women's side. We have Iga Swiatek, who had a slow start in the beginning of this season. She didn't win her Roland Garros title, which is one she has won 4 times before. So everyone was like, oh my gosh, where is her level at? But after winning Wimbledon, she has been on a
Yeah.
tear. She has been on a roll. And her winning Cincinnati, it's the field should be scared. Everyone else should be scared because she's gonna go in for me personally as the favorite to win it. Yes, Sabalenka, who is the world number one, won it last year. But honestly, she's not looking so good in terms of her level. She lost in the quarterfinals in Cincinnati, and she hasn't won a Grand Slam this year, which is tough. They are four, and being a world number one, you're expected to win a Grand Slam.
To
This is
win.
the
Yeah.
the highest level of tennis. If yes, you're getting into the final but not winning, there's still question marks around that. So I think there's more pressure on her to win the final Grand Slam of the year as a world number one and defend her title. I think there will be more adversity for her to overcome than Iga Swiatek, who's on a roll.
Okay, let's talk about the draw now. Who, in your opinion, has a bit of tough luck, and maybe where do you see some quick wins, some easy wins for the players?
Um, I wouldn't say easy wins because, a Grand Slam is always tough and they're always upset.
Yeah,
Someone who is low ranked can decide to show up and be like, I have nothing to lose. Let me go in and play my
exactly.
best tennis. But so far, looking at it on paper, I would say Iga has a very easy draw. And okay, not very easy. She has an easier draw than someone like Sabalenka, who has to oh my God, she has to go through a lot of tough opponents before she gets to that final. Even reaching the quarterfinal is going to be tough for her. She could easily meet Elena Rybakina, who is such a hard hitter and who is someone who just beat Sabalenka in Cincinnati. In terms of the men, I would say Carlos Alcaraz has a really tough draw. Like his fans were crying when the draw came out because it's bloody out there.
Yeah,
He's
cheers.
in the
I can
same draw
imagine.
with American Ben Shelton, who is on fire. He just won the Toronto Masters. He always does well in Grand Slams. He has been to the semifinal of the US Open, but even after
Level.
getting past that, he would have to deal with Novak Djokovic. Novak Djokovic, who is a 24-time Grand Slam champion, who is aiming for number 25. He's vying to have the most Grand Slams of any player, male or female, with that number 25. And if he gets past Novak Djokovic, he's most likely going to meet Yannick Sinner in the final. So that draw is it's very tough to say the least. And if he makes it there, bruised and beaten, it would be amazing if he actually won it. And if he won it, he deserves the world number one, which he would probably get.
I think Novak should be given an opportunity to have that slot of the all-time, 25 titles, did you say?
Yes,
Yeah,
anything can happen, especially with the US Open. We find in the men's side, especially, it yields the most unlikely winners, even in the era of the big three. The people who won
um,
110 Grand Slams or usually won it during the US Open. So don't
US
be
Open.
surprised if it's not Carlos Alcaraz or Yannick Sinner lifting that title this year.
Okay, Karunji, I look forward to chatting with you when the Open, when the singles are in full gear, to see how far we have gone or you have gone with your predictions. Do take care of yourselves, and I can't wait to see what this US Open has on offer. Bye bye.